told them who I am, and we've welcomed everyone here. And one thing I had here was to thank the helpers, a lot of the people who have done the flowers. There's so many things, but that's all been done. So we'll move on. And doesn't my little girl look gorgeous tonight? Like something out of Hollywood. And her bridesmaids are pretty sharp as well. Anyway, I'm going to start with a story about Olivia, and it starts very early in her life. It was on the day she was born. When Olivia was born, 10 or 15 minutes prior, we sort of got called over and they said, look, there's a bit of a problem here. She seems to have the the umbilical cord wrapped around her neck. And so we were thinking, oh, what's going to happen? But luckily everything worked out pretty perfectly and she was born perfect. But well, that little incident must have affected her, because as she started to grow and start to crawl around, she started wrapping things around her neck. Everything she could find, she wrapped it around her neck. Finally, when she got to be about 1 year old and was just starting to walk, she still was wrapping things around her neck, but she cottoned onto this little tartan blanket, and she called it her Mickey. And it was like her little security blanket that she'd wrap around her neck, and she would rub her thumb and finger on the fluff on it and rub it on here. And it was one of those things that was very hard to get rid of. Olivia just did not like us taking the Mickey. So we went very, very slowly, we cut it in half and made it smaller and smaller, and it got to the stage after a year or so where it was about the size of a Mickey, and we took it to the dump, and finally we got rid of Olivia's Mickey. And I'm wondering whether that little tartan blanket way back then might be why she's got this bow tie for me to wear today. She's been pretty much the perfect daughter, trouble-free, as far as I know. She's been a pleasure to be the father of, and I'm really chuffed with how things have worked out. She worked with me in my job as my PA. She was loved by all the workers that worked there. I was a very proud father with Olivia as my PA for a while there. When she graduated as a nurse, Tony and myself went up to her graduation, and we were just so proud of Olivia graduating as a nurse. She's particularly good at writing words. Whenever you get a text or an email or a card from Olivia, she says all the right things that make a father or a mother feel loved. I feel like I need to thank so many people for how Olivia has turned out. You know, her grandparents, Wally and Joan and Nana Armstrong and my father's gone as well. All on both sides. She's got 5 aunties and 5 uncles on both sides of the family, so there's been a lot of nieces and nephews that have played with her over the years. I want to thank Tony, Olivia's mother, and Nigel, his partner, for all the support and love that they've given to Olivia over the years. It's been amazing. And all Olivia's many friends that have been part of her life that have made her turn out the way she did. I think we've done well, so thanks for all the time that you've spent with us and with Olivia that have made her the young lady she is today. Now to Reuben. Olivia told me about this hairy-faced young man who was after her in a good way. And one of the things that she told me was who Reuben's grandfather was, which was really interesting, because when I was between about 5 and 15 years old and living in Dunedin, we used to go to the Punawea Keswick convention every year. And Reuben's grandfather, Rolly Swain, was a much loved man at that convention every year. He was like the camp cook, the camp commandant. He'd lead the singing of the grace, which has ended up being a family tradition where we sing the grace. So it's interesting looking back those years ago that Reuben's grandfather sort of laid the seed for my Olivia's future happiness. You know, on the 16th of December 2011 at 4:09 PM in the afternoon, I got a text. And it said, "Hi Andrew, Reuben here. Just wondering if you were free tomorrow. I'm coming down to Rotorua and was hoping to catch up if it was possible." And I slightly suspected something, so I replied, "Yes, no problem. Are you looking for a hand or something?" And he replied, "A hand is what I'm after." Cheers, Andrew. Well, he came around and we met and we talked and we were both very happy. Reuben, I've spent time with Reuben. He's obviously been brought up in a loved family with his mother Robin and father Randall and his sisters living overseas working as missionaries. A close family. He's bright. He's got a loving way about him. He fixed the kontiki at the beach so now it goes properly and we can catch fish. And he lets me win at Yahtzee, so... Yeah, halfway there. No, I'm just finishing. I've spent some good time in Olivia and Reuben's company, and it's obvious that they are well suited and they love one another. Reuben can sometimes be a little quiet, but women like the quiet type. They think they're listening. Welcome to our family, Reuben. We know Olivia is in great hands. Now, if you can all stand and we'll raise our glasses and drink a toast to the bride and groom. To health and lasting happiness, Reuben and Olivia Bailey.
Reuben and Olivia Bailey.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Oh, I love air.